Well, good day and I love you. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart and I am the Chieftess. I'm also a recovering addict, alcoholic, and I'm a mother. Today I'm going to share some of my experience, strength, and hope with you. I'm going to tell you a story and just connect with you for a little bit during this tumultuous time on Earth. And hold on, because you know I've always got something fabulous. Look at that! Oh my God, have you ever seen anything better? I love it! Look at the bottom of the shoes. Okay, let's get back on track. My fashionista flair is not the focus, but you gotta say hey, right? Okay, so let's see here. We are, let me start here. I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. I'm telling my story live right now. It is on YouTube if you would like to watch. And my dog is doing something crazy. I talk all about my past in that story, and you can go, you can watch that and you can find all about my former chaos. To give you a few highlights, I've been detained with a 0.416 blood alcohol level, 0.416, walking, talking, coherently giving nutrition advice to the sheriff deputies detaining me. I've cracked my skull open and had a bleed in my brain in front of my kids. I've done heinous crap in front of my kids. I've had like 11 concussions, only 2 have been from motor vehicles. The rest have been from rank-ass behavior. And a lot of that was in front of my children when I was little. I was just a human wrecking ball. And so I had this view of myself, I had this view of the world, because the truth is I was in a bad habit of stinking thinking. And I saw myself this one way and I saw the world that one way. And those beliefs created my behavior. And my behavior, time and time again, created my character. And then once you establish your character, well, lo and behold, you look up and that's your life. There you living in it, right? So I was living as a rank-ass character with some rank-ass beliefs and some rank-ass behaviors, and life was not great, to say the least. And so I got remanded by court to a program of recovery that had 12 steps and 12 traditions on the walls. And people told me that if I sat in that room and did what they said and soaked up that stuff, that I might start to believe and behave differently. And that's what happened to me. I decided to sit in those rooms and listen to different people and start modeling my behavior. And like they did, that happened first. I changed my behavior. My change in my belief system came later, okay? So first I just had to move my ass, all right? You gotta move your ass. That's a key part here. I had to do the things they told me to do, and then after a while of doing these things differently, I started to see things differently because I had a different outcome with better behavior. And then after doing this for a minute, well, a lot of better outcomes starts to change your belief about things. And then I started to establish and create healthier beliefs about myself, about the world around me. I got healthier, life changed, right? My character changed, my life changed. Well, it worked so well for me and I love it so much that I have decided to keep repeating that process for myself in a conscious way whenever I go through really rough times. Because you see, this program of recovery that I was remanded to, years later, I have realized it is an energetic wampus, let me tell you. Like, we say things in there like fake it till you make it, and just do the next right thing. And people talk about silly crap. Like, I remember hearing a story one time where someone was like, okay, well, we've all pulled up. I need you to pretend that an imaginary boat has pulled up with really happy people. Now you're gonna have to get in the boat. And when you get in the imaginary boat, you're gonna have to imaginary row. And the person in front of you is looking at you like, you are freaking cuckoo. And you're like, yeah, and you're just gonna get in the imaginary boat. You're gonna have to get in the, you're gonna have to imaginary row for a while. And then before you know it, one day you're gonna see the boat. You're gonna see the water. You're gonna feel the rowing. And it sounds like just crazy talk, until you start to engage in this process, and then you wake up and you're different, and you believe different, and you behave different, and then you know you're different, and then the people around you see you're different. Things are different, right? It's not just in your head anymore. So about 9 years ago, I had a day where my son's father had decided he wanted to take our very young son on his visitation to his girlfriend's house, and he was still my husband. So my husband at the time wanted to take my child on visitation to his girlfriend's house, and I had been sober for 9 years, and that was the straw to me. That was the too much. That was the, like, I can handle everything, but for some reason that day that was too much. And so on that day I called my we have mentors in my program of recovery. I called my mentor and I told him that I was going to buy a bottle of tequila and I was going to kill them. I was gonna kill him and I was gonna kill his girlfriend. And I've written about this on social media before. And he said, "Heather, are you listening to yourself?" I said, "Yup." And he said, "How do you think you're gonna end the day?" And I said, "I'm pretty confident I'm gonna end it locked up." And he's like, "And you're all right with that?" I was like, "Yup." And he says, "Okay." Oh, because I should say, that's the way I work. When I am active in addiction, I am not safe. For me, for the public. Like, if I say that kind of stuff, I'm not joking. I'm not talking crap. I'm insane. Like, you should call martial law. Like, Heather has to maintenance Heather for the safety of the community, not just Heather and her family. So he says to me, he says, "How do you think you're going to end the day?" And I said, "I think I'm going to end it locked up." And he says, "You all right with that?" I said, "I think I am." And I don't want the sunlight in my eyes, so I'm not squinting. And so he says, "Well, I tell you what, let's take tequila off the table for 15 minutes, but let's leave manslaughter on." Because he was brilliant with me, and he knew that if he told me I couldn't do something, I was going to do it anyway. So I said, "Okay, that's a deal." And he says, "So what are you going to do for 15 minutes? And I said, "I'm going to go to the gym." And he's like, "All right, you're going to go to the gym and you're not going to drink." And I said, "I will fucking call you on the way to the liquor store. I will call you if I decide to go. So no, I'm going to go to the gym." So he says, "Okay." So I go to the gym. And at that point, this is when I was a really big girl. Like, I was really into lifting. And I went to the gym about the same time every day. And so the same people were there. And I wasn't crying, but I had these, like, huge tears coming out my face while I was lifting. And so all these big guys are kind of just, like, looking over at me like, "Is she okay?" And no one's really saying anything to me because you can tell I am volatile. And I stay there. I remember lifting, I was incline dumbbell pressing 70-pound dumbbells with ease. I remember the amount of fire that flowed through me. I have this wonderful gift to be able to remember things, how they felt, which is a good deal for someone like me. So I don't forget, you know? And I remember just the rage, the amount of rage flowing through me and the amount of fire. And that there was, I mean, that's those times like when I hurt my body because I lift too heavy and stuff. So I stayed there till I knew I wasn't going to drink. And then I decided that was better anyway, because then if I got to kill them, I wouldn't be in a blackout, so I would be able to remember. And he had me call him every 15 minutes and postpone manslaughter for about 4.5 hours. And then I decided I wasn't going to kill anyone because it wouldn't get me what I wanted. And then it would be a crappy deal for my kids. So anyway, but it took all day. It took all day to get me through that time. And I had 9 years sober. So some years have passed since that, and the abbreviated story is since then we have been in court multiple times to the tune of $100,000 for 3 years. We created a really successful nutrition program. The long and short of it was I was awarded some compensation when I went back to get what I was owed. He counterfiled with custody of our son, and so he would take me to court for custody of our kid while he is halfway across the world working and not here. And that was the hardest time of my life, those 3 years. I'm telling that story. That's part of the story. You can watch that on YouTube. So I don't want to get too awful into that. But the reason I have to touch on it is because it was such a tumultuous time in my life. When he says things now he has a new girlfriend. He's halfway across the world and threatening the same thing, to come take my kid, and just really saying really nasty, horrible things. And I'll speak the way I react and then the way I edit. How about that? It scares the crap out of me when he acts this way, and when someone threatens me with my own well-being and the well-being of my child. And I could fall into the fear pond where I quickly get enveloped, and then I'm not able to choose the next right action as well as if I'm not reacting. And so a few days ago, when he was talking that same mess, I mean, just really hateful stuff, it scared the crap out of me. And so I went to the gym so I could go work it out. I was crying in the beginning because I was scared, and I was like, here we are again. I remember this, like all those same feelings come flooding back, all that same stuff comes flooding back. And then I have this blessed part of me today that I did not have before, that kind of says, stop. You're seeing things wrong. You need to remember who you are. You need to remember who you're becoming. And all of a sudden, I was sitting on this machine, and I was like, yo, fuck this noise. Like, look at you. You're at the gym, and you're going to work it out. And then when you leave here, you're going to go to a meeting where you're going to talk about how you feel with other people that are like you. And drinking and doing drugs is nowhere on my radar. And wasting my time and energy thinking about killing someone else? Pfft, do you know who the fuck I am today? I'm all about me. I'm all about me. And I don't do shit like that. I don't put my hands on people anymore. I don't resort to crazy making behavior. I don't even go talk trash back. I take leave of the situation. I go create my own calm and balance. I go become beautiful, whatever that takes. And it hit me. I was like, you are becoming who you want to be. Oh my goodness. And then I stopped and I took the selfie. I went from crying to selfieing right there on that machine. I have the picture. I'll probably put it at the end of this video. I have the picture of me, of my face, when I was at the gym some, what was that, 8 years ago? And when I hit that point where I was like, you will leave here and you will not drink and you will mind your business. And I took a picture of my face and my resolve, because I can feel energy when I see pictures of me. And I remember times. You guys can too, you just don't know it yet. And so I took this picture of me, which for me will always be monumental, because it was the game-changing switch in my psyche. Because today I have created a different belief system about who I am and what I do when my life gets hard. Today, I am a mother who, that was the second or third time I've left the house since my son has had surgery to go to the gym that day and to go to that meeting. And then, you know, I went to the gym to handle my mood, to balance my energy. And then I went to my meeting to go get loved on and connect with my community. And And in between there, I came home and fed my kid dinner. And then I came back home to my son, who I'm taking care of right now, who can't even go pee by himself. And I was like, what do you care what anyone else says? Like, your life is in front of your face. What do you care what trash someone talks? Like, it's not your business. I heard it once said that what other people think about me is not my business. Well, amen to that. Not only what other people think about me, but what they think about themselves and what they think about everything. What's my business is who I want to become. Who I consciously want to become. The beliefs I want to embody that will enable the behavior I want to exhibit. That's my only focus. My hocus pocus focus today. And so I am so grateful to say that by witnessing my own behavior and by observing my own responses, I am quite readily doing what I desire. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I've been doing this for a long time. I literally create characters of who I want to become, and that allows me to redefine and recalibrate my belief system and thus update and recalibrate my behavior. This allows me to create the life I desire and to become who I want to be in that life. And I've been doing it now consciously for about 10 years. I've been doing it with hundreds of other people since 2015. And it's amazing. And this was just an incremental jump for me. Like, you know, you get to see where you grow. Although I do believe that most of us don't spend much time observing our growth. We spend a lot of time criticizing ourselves and doubling down on old defunct bad habits. We spend less time on updating our belief system and allowing new permissions and advancement for ourselves. We typecast ourselves really, really well. We do not as easily allow ourselves to read for a new part, you know? And that's been my experience. And that's why I told this whole story from the front to the back, that I used to see myself this one way. Like, Heather put her hands on people. That was Heather. Heather put her hands on people. Peterson. And when I first got to the program of recovery, at the end of meetings, and people would say, don't drink and go to meetings, one man would say to me, Heather, don't drink, don't put your hands on people, and go to meetings. And this time around, when I was a 10 on my 10 scale of fear and discombobulation and pushing buttons that trigger and elicit fear from the past, I was a 10 on my 10 scale. And putting my hands on someone or crazy making behavior was nowhere to be found. That's fucking amazing. That's a miracle. It's absolutely a miracle. I have changed who I think I am. I have changed how I see myself, how I believe in myself, and now the behavior is proof of it. I'm so stinking happy. Because it's so cool, you guys. Like, I used to be such a liability. And then, you know, like, life keeps happening, and then it takes you out your game, and then you forget who you want to be, and then you act like a rank-ass somebody because so-and-so did this, or so-and-so said this, or, you know, this happened in the world. And it's that time where if we do not choose who we want to be and how we want to show up, I'm pretty confident we're not going to be embodying our best behavior. Because it's impossible to step into your best vibration when you are reacting to something in front of your face. That is not consciously choosing who you want to be. So I'm on cloud 9 today about the fact that I can see the work and I can feel the work, and that encourages me to do more work. You know, it's like most people, when they would come to me for training, once they start to lose some weight or feel better about themselves, or, you know, fit into that dress or whatever, that's the motivation that you need to keep coming. So for me, this was the motivation to step into my next phase of life, where I'm going to teach this more, and I'm going to help more people do what I'm doing and become who they want to be. I took a break for a little while now that I'm talking about it, because I had to balance my own life. That shit put me on my ass going through court for that degree of time. I did not tell anyone about it. I kept it to myself during the time because I didn't want everyone doubling down on my demise. I didn't want you seeing me as that strung out single mom who's struggling. Nor did I want my son seeing me that way, because that shit breeds for a whole different thing. That's another story for another day. So I put all my effort and all my work into consciously creating who I want to be and what behavior I want to embody, what I want that to look like, smell like, taste like, feel like. Look at her today. Don't you just love my polka dots? I mean, I'm in love with this dress. I have a little blue purse. I'll take a picture and put it on for you later. I love it so much. With my little pearl earrings, my fancy shoes. I already showed you my fancy shoes, but you can see them again. So, let's see here. I'm going to pull a goddess card because I love to so much. What else do I have for you? I am going to be teaching Become Who You Want to Be workshops where we will create the character. So the funny thing is, this process I use, I get you in a meditative space so we can reprogram your subconscious thoughts. Because here's the deal with all this stuff. Our subconscious is the director of our lives, okay? But the subconscious is not visible, hearable, or knowable to the conscious self. So the director is invisible. The director's like driving in the back seat of the car, but you don't even know they're there. I tell this story that when people come to see me for, you know, training, for healing, for nutrition, sometimes like back in the day they'd say, okay, so I purchased the gym membership and I threw away the cigarettes. So I'm totally on board with quitting smoking and I'm totally on board with going to the gym. But there's this part of them sitting behind them that's like, we've been smoking since we were 12 and we ain't doing shit in the gym, and you know that, right? And that part is actually what runs the show. And you don't even know that part's there. So you, standing in front of me, are like, I threw away the cigarettes. I got the gym membership. Like, I don't understand what the hitch in my giddy up is. It's because you don't know about this part. The beauty is when you get your shit handed to you and your ass gets kicked, like right now for me, you get to meet that part because that part tries to take over. That part gets really loud because this part hasn't had as much investment put in it. We haven't put as much conscious investment in who we want to be. Most of us are purely reacting to our subconscious programming. The subconscious does not know the difference between a truth and a non-truth. The subconscious is programmed by the repetitive patterns in your life. What you say all the time, what you hear all the time, what you see all the time. Whatever happens that you're imprinted with everything you see, everything you hear. When it happens a lot, your subconscious brain decides, oh, that must be the truth. This is happening so much that it must be the truth. Now, unless you're spending as much time telling your conscious part what the truth is and what you want to be and how you want to see things, then this is the game runner. So then, when the shit hits the fan, this part, not as developed, not as cultivated, is kind of like, right? And this part is like, yo, I got this, I know. And it shows up, and then you do stuff, and then you say, well, here I am in the same situation as I was before. Or, I've got the same thing in front of my face. This reminds me of when before, blah, 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 right? But the difference is, it's there because you're the repetitive pattern. You are the one summoning the repetitive experience until you change your belief about who you are and how your life goes. So like this last time, when somebody decides to exhibit some behavior that is repetitive from our past, and I go into subconscious reaction, oh God, this is what happened before. This is what's going to happen again. This is, I am lost. I am lost to the fear races. There's no conscious creation coming out of that. It's probably not going to be my best choices, right? But if I have the ability to pause and to step outside of that reaction and to go, oh, this is similar behavior to what's happened before. Am I a match to this? If I'm a match to this, do I want to be a match to it? Do I want to choose how I view this situation and how I respond and not react? Do I want to consciously choose my action in this? In fact, maybe I don't want to spin my wheels here and get all frazzled and fast forward from 0 to 10. Maybe I want to remember that I'm the mother in my household. I'm the beautiful creature in my life, and that's my job. So this is how I see myself. These are my beliefs, which means I'm not aligning with yours. And then I'm able to stand out of that pattern, to step out of my reacting habitual pattern. The thing is, we're all capable of doing this. You just got to get in touch with the parts of you. And for most of us, since the way we've been indoctrinated, you're educated, that is a pretty difficult process because we've been taught to resist and to protest, and that just makes things persist. We've not been taught to allow our feelings, to allow the process, and then to choose a conscious response. So, in my workshop, I help you create a character that helps you recalibrate your behavior, change your life, change who you want to be. I've been doing it over and over and over again for myself. Like I said, I've done it with hundreds of people now around the world. And the really cool thing is this process creates cellular change. So unlike something where you go to a workshop and you come out of a workshop for a weekend and you're like all charged up and you're like, wow, this was so amazing. And it's really amazing for a week. It's pretty amazing for 2 weeks. By the third week, you're not really feeling it, you know. You might still have the workbook there. You might still have the book, and maybe you're talking about it with your friends. Yeah, that workshop was amazing. But you're not really doing anything. The difference with this is we get in your skin. We get in your cells, and we start changing your beliefs. So you get to behave in this change and bring this change into your being every day. And then it never goes away. It stays. And it becomes an updated, upgraded, recalibrated version of you, becoming who you want to be. Parvati devotion. See my fingernails? I have broken all of my fingernails with helping move my son. So I'm deciding just to cut them off for a little while. You know, stop resisting. Just go with the flow, right? Okay, so Parvati says, true commitment comes from wholehearted living in body, mind, and spirit. When the Hindus goddess Parvati rises up to greet you, she is acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth. With the world in so much turmoil, it's not easy to devote yourself to higher knowledge and a strong faith. Do you feel the synchronicity here? But if you are to serve others by being a bearer of love, compassion, and light, you must recommit yourself every day as unwavering in your devotion as Parvati was to Shiva and her goal of bringing peace to the world. Parvati asks you to find silence in daily meditation, to contemplate your devotion as well as your commitment to all of life and to making this world a better place. The great goddess is present when you renew your devotion and make that relationship primary above all else. Then in all areas of your life, your every choice will be in alignment and in service to this truth. When the goddess Parvati comes to visit, it is a beautiful sign that you are on the right track. All right, and let me also, what was I just going to say? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I guess I was just going to say that becoming the best version of yourself is the greatest gift you can give you. It's also the greatest gift you can give the rest of us. You see, I show up better for you when I focus on who I want to be. When I take time to become who I want to be, which is what all of this is, before I come meet you, I bring a better version of me. And you could say, well, what if it's not the real you? What if it's not the whole you? Who's the real you? Who's the whole you? Are you not always becoming? I am always becoming. Therefore, who I am today is not who I will be tomorrow. And I'm going to give myself the permission to be that. In fact, we might call my next character Heather. The universe card says, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. That's what time it is. That's what time it is on earth, y'all. Goodness gracious. It is tumultuous times, as it said here. Tumultuous times. But during tumultuous times, we get to choose who we want to be, and we get to show up and change. This workshop will be with the Gemini new moon. I will have information coming out. You guys can check out my Becoming Who You Want to Be cognitive behavioral therapy workshop. And what else do I have going here? Oh, I do have 3 for $99 happy, healthy healing sessions. They're 50-minute sessions, and we chat and find out what's going on in your life, give you some nutrition and some fitness and some life tools to help you live better, happier, and healthier. You can contact me about that. Other than that, go watch my story. I will be creating a new chapter this next week, and I have lots coming for you. I'm busy with the beehive, remodeling my beehive, my community where we can come be happy, healthy, and sexy together and learn. And that's it. I'm letting myself remodel right now. I'm trying not to give myself too many constraints on how I'm doing things. I'm really trying to let go of any definition of self right now because I'm ready for a recalibration. And it's, to be honest, it's really tough, and I don't like being in front of you when I'm like this. I'm not all completely comfortable with this video. I'm a Capricorn, and I like to have my I's dotted and my T's crossed, and I like to have everything consistent, and I like to have this very in charge image. The truth is, it's not that time, and being in charge right now is a joke, because there's no way we could be in charge right now in times we've never experienced, in energy we've never had, in a body that's brand new, with cells that are recalibrating, being fed benevolent, abundant allowance every second of every day. So in other words, I have everything streaming to me and through me and from me, and it changes that fast. So there's no way I can know who I am or even what I'm capable of. So I'm trying to find that fun right now, and I'm going to be here more often sharing the real me, because that's what helps me grow. Whether y'all participate or not, it's a process with myself. So I love you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are interested in my Becoming Who You Want to Be workshop, shoot me a message. I'll have a flyer out in the next few days. And again, 3 happy, healthy healing sessions for $99 if you are interested in that. They are online 50-minute video sessions, okay? You can record the session. You'll leave with tools. Speaking about, I didn't say that, because here, this is why I have to give myself permission to become who I want to be. Most often now, I can sit with someone and help them change their biology, their work life, their belief about themselves, their dis-ease with the situation after one conversation. I have that ability to allow my field to read their field and to really get in people's bubble and to give them real healing. And if I don't give myself permission to grow into that, well, then I don't think I'll grow into that. And since it's brand new for me, I have to give myself the permission to be. So that's all I have today. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you. I love you. I love you.